Hey everybody, Joy here. It is Sunday, March 3rd, 2019. I almost said 1919. Oh my goodness. I've been sewing. And haven't been sewing today at all. Went to church this morning and then I got showered and then I made some lunch. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about my yesterday. My yesterday was Saturday. And I'm still here in my Edmond house. And I'm here day after day after day and by myself. And the weather's been really bad here. And so I haven't gone anywhere. I've just been in the house all day, every day, you know, sewing or organizing or cleaning or something. So I decided yesterday that I needed to go and get some exercise somewhere. So I decided I won't ever walk outside. I'm too scared to walk outside. Somebody's dog always tries to attack me or something. I had a friend, actually, a coyote came up to her one time and grabbed a broom out of her hand and ran off with it. So I'm afraid of outside unless I'm with my husband and he's carrying a gun or something. And my husband won't go outside and walk anyway. So anyway, how did I get off on that? Anyway, I decided I needed to get some exercise. So, you know that Viv mom, she's always buying fabric, and she just recently had a video and she showed you guys all this fabric she got, and she'd been to Hobby Lobby. And so I thought, oh, I could go and walk around Hobby Lobby. I don't have to buy anything there, but I could just like walk around and get some exercise because it's a real big store. So I did, about 5 miles from here. So I went into Hobby Lobby and I got my little basket. Why do you need a basket if you're just going to walk, Joy? Well, you never know. So I got my basket, and you know, I don't know if everybody that watches me has a Hobby Lobby. Probably Hubby doesn't have one. But they always have this great big thing there in the middle of the store that has these flyers, and the flyers tell you what's on sale. So I picked up the flyer, and I thought, well, I might as well look at it. And so it said that all the fabric, their fabric was 30% off, which it always is. But it also said that their sewing notions, Sewology sewing notions, were half price. And I thought, oh, well, I don't really need anything, but maybe I'll buy a sewing notion. So I decided to start my walk and go back to see the sewing notions. Okay, so I turned right, I turned left, and I went straight back to the fabric sewing notion part of the store. Okay. Well, an hour and a half later, I was done in the fabric department and was heading down to the jewelry department. Oh my goodness. You know, I never think I'm going to find anything. I never think I'm going to find anything at Joann's. I never think I'm going to find anything at Hobby Lobby, but somehow I always find something. So anyhow, I actually think I picked up the same piece that Viv Mom did. And I just love it. This is I guess it's part navy blue, but it's part royal blue, part navy blue, part turquoise, part regular blue. It's got a whole lot of blues in it. And then it's got 3 different greens in it, and it's got coral, and it's got orange. It's just the prettiest colors. And so I picked this piece up to make a blouse out of. And so then I thought, well, when I have a blouse, I need a pair of pants. And I've already decided that I want to make some of these new pants. I bought the pattern. I showed you guys the pattern. And I think these pants are so cute because they're narrow legs. They're not legging type legs, but they're narrow legs. I used to wear pants like that when I was a teenager. Of course, I had a lot better body to put them on then, but oh well. This is the rubber band waist, as my mother calls it. And so I thought, oh my gosh, that'll be easy to make. And it was. I made it up yesterday afternoon when I got home. So, but let me see. The pink pants don't go with this. Oh, and let me tell you a little tip. You guys probably already know it anyway, but I didn't know it. I went and I got this piece to go with this top. And I hope the camera's showing it. But there is a lot of this color in these leaves. There's actually 3 different greens. And so, just take my word for it. This does match, even if it looks like it doesn't in camera. And I've already ordered some coral fabric from, I think it was called Emma One Sock. I searched and searched and searched the internet for stretch denim or stretch twill. Oh my gosh, rare as hen's teeth. Well, not really, except that you need, for these patterns that I've got, you need 25% stretch. Very, very hard to find. If any of you know a source, please tell me what it is. Anyway, I have some on order, and I think I ordered a piece in coral. So the coral will go with this too. Goodness, 100 colors will go with this. This is just great fabric. I love all the colors in it. So this got in my basket. And then I saw this one. I've seen this one there before, but I never did buy it because the flowers on it have pale colors. And I don't look good in pale colors. I look good in brights, like in a box of 8 crayons, those colors. I look good in bright colors. But this has white, and it has these black dots, and it has some bright, dark pink in it. So I bought this to be a blouse, and I bought this to be the pants, and I'm not sure the camera can pick up that this matches, but it does. The middle of every flower has this color of pink in it, okay? So the tip I wanted to tell you was, I had picked my 2 pieces that I wanted to make tops out of, the navy blue and this. And so then I thought, oh, I need to go over there to the solids. And at Hobby Lobby, they have a whole wall that's just solid colors. And so the first one I picked up was a pink one. And so I took the bolt down, I unrolled some of it, and I squished it with my hand like I always do. And then I peeled it apart. I took it down. I peel 1 layer down. That's 2 layers, Joy. Nothing ever wants to work right when you're making a video. And so I squeeze it like this, right? And then I let it go and I see how much it wrinkles. Then I held it up and I looked through it and I could see the store through it. It was totally transparent. I thought, what the heck? I thought, well, it's the right color, you know, it'll be lightweight for spring, whatever. So I put it in my basket. Well, then I went to look for the pink. Well, when I pulled the pink down off the shelf, I did the same thing. I scrunched it and I opened it up, and when I looked through it, I couldn't see anything. It was just solid. And so I thought, what's the deal? Why is this one so thin and this one so thick? So I looked at the end of the bolts. One of them was 9 something a yard. One of them was 6 something a yard. The one that was 9, it might have been $8.99. That one was called Kona, K-O-N-A cotton. The other one that was $6.99, I don't know what its brand was, but I think it's the Hobby Lobby brand. So I went back and I found this, which was the same color green I had to start with, but in a Kona. So now I have 2 pieces that are not transparent. So just a note, Hobby Lobby has different qualities of cotton, okay? So, got that. Well, so then I took my stuff up to the cutting counter, and the little granny was there. Yes, I'm a granny, I know. But this lady was a little older than I am. Her hair was totally gray. She's about my size. And she was very, very nice, but she was so slow motion. I'm not kidding y'all. I bet it took her over 30 minutes to cut these 4 pieces of fabric. But she was very nice, very friendly. I was not in a hurry, and she was very, very nice, and I enjoyed her. So anyway, since she was so slow, I remembered Viv talking about some fabric she found for $3 a yard at Hobby Lobby. And I thought, where the heck did she find this $3 a yard fabric? So I noticed out in the middle there were these bins with some fabric sticking up in them in a different sort of way. And I thought, oh, maybe those are the sale fabric she was talking about. So I walked up to that cart and I started looking at them, but it was all those duck fabrics, D-U-C-K. I don't know what they are or why Hobby Lobby carries them, but they are stiff, stiff, stiff. I don't know what people make out of them. I can't imagine anybody making clothing out of them. I don't know. Excuse me. But I just, no. I just thought, ooh, yuck, I don't want any of those. So I walked back to the granny and I started talking to her again. And she was like on my third piece and still slow. So, I mean, this lady was so slow. There was a girl that came in after I was done and she walked up there and she was having some trim. The trim was all half price too, and she was having some trim cut. She wanted the whole bolt of it. The granny was so slow that I walked up to the end of the counter and I helped unroll it all and I helped hold it all so she could pull it in and count the yards. Bless her heart. But I'll tell you, she was there and she was nice. Praise God for customer service, even if it's slow customer service. But anyway, I went back over to her. She was still cutting my third piece out. So I said, well, I'm going to go wander around a little bit. So I was wandering around and I found another sale bin. And it was out there next to that one. I didn't see it to start with. And it had cottons in it. It had some nice fabrics, although I didn't like. But I found this one. And this one I like very, very much. You all know my very favorite thing is roses. I love roses. So I found this. It was $4 a yard. And I'm making pants out of it. It's a little stiffer. It's a little stiffer than these cottons are. Not like the duck though. It's not like the duck, but it's just a stiffer weave. So I might even do the Peggy Sager's Coca-Cola trick and wash it with a can of Coke and see if that'll soften it up a little bit. But I will probably make a green top to go with those. We shall see. Anyway, took my walk, ended up with 5 pieces of fabric. And then I did go back to the notions, that's why I went there. Oh, let me tell you. Did I tell you the first tip about the cottons? Yes. Another tip. I went back to the half-price notions, and their notions are called Soulology. Oh my gosh, the thread was all half-price too. I wish I had thought to buy some thread. You know, I don't have hardly any thread. I really don't. Regular all-purpose thread, I really don't have very much of that here. All of this other thread you see in this room, it's all for the embroidery machine, which I hardly used. Anyway, I learned this from, what's her name? Angela Wolf. Angela Wolf. She said, go buy a dozen seam rippers. She said, seam rippers get old, and they're not sharp, and they are dangerous. And you end up poking holes in yourself, in the fabric, whatever, because you have to push too hard. So I remember her saying that. So I bought 2 of these seam rippers. Well, thank goodness I did. Because when I was sewing these pants yesterday, what pants are those, Joy? I showed you a second ago. Yeah, I showed you. It's New Look 6246, okay? I need a cough drop, you guys, so please pardon the coughing. I'll try to cut it out. So here they are. So the way I make pants is I sew both legs completely together. The front and the back, do the long side seams, and then I do the inseams. And so then I have 2 whole legs put together, right? And so then I put one leg inside the other leg. One's right side out, one's inside out. And when you put them together, then you sew the crotch, okay? So I did that. I had both the legs done. And then I put the one leg inside the other leg and sewed the crotch. And then I thought, I serged it. And I thought, oh my gosh, all I have left to do is the hem and the waistband. Yay, this is great. I pulled the one leg out of the inside leg, and then I put both legs right side out, and the crotch seam I had just sewn in was on the outside, right side of the pants, all the way around a nice serged white thread seam from my waist in the front to my waist in the back. I couldn't believe it. So, got my brand new seam ripper. I tell you guys, I had that entire seam ripped out in less than 2 minutes, maybe even 1 minute, because this just went through and it was like an electric knife, just as fast as I could go. Yeah, it made that sound too. Went right through it. Go get yourself, especially when they're on sale, grab half a dozen of them. keep sharp seam rippers. What a super difference. Okay. So, we got the pink pants made. Need to figure out what blouses I want to do. Then, you remember Viv Mom talking about how she bought counter books. I think she was in Florida. She was someplace and she bought those counter books, and I never knew they were called counter books. But after she showed that video, I was at Hobby Lobby. This was months ago. Hold on, I gotta go get a cough drop. Sorry y'all, the more I talk, when the heaters are running in the house, it's dry air in here, the more I talk, the more I cough. Anyway, I went back to a Hobby Lobby sometime after I saw Viv with her counter books, as she calls them. I could not find any anywhere. So I asked the lady, I said, do you guys keep the old pattern catalogs? She said, yeah, we have some. I said, well, where do you keep them? She took me completely out of the fabric department, around the corner and on the wall, down at the very bottom in a wire basket, just thrown in this wire basket like they were trash. I never would have found them. So, yesterday when I was on my exercise walk, I thought, I'm gonna go see if they have one of those books. It'll be something I can look at night. So, I went around, sure enough, there was one in the bin. Not only was it in the bin, it's brand spanking new. It hasn't even been opened. I mean, what do you call this thing on the outside? Not called a binder. Whatever it is. It's not even bent. It's like it's brand spanking new. And it's early spring. And I thought, what the heck is this book? I bet you guys are seeing it right now in the stores you go to. What the heck is this book doing in here? Well, when I was looking at it last night, I noticed that it's defective. It's got inside one of the colored sections, right in the middle of it, they've inserted this other thing that doesn't go there. So I thought, well, maybe this is defective and that's why it's in the bin. Or maybe they're all defective like that. But let me show you something. Hold on. Y'all remember this? This is a thing that you put on your bed at night. You put it around your lap, and you put your laptop on it. I have two of them. I have a pink one at my other house, and I have this black one here. Well, it's got these buttons on the side that you can move this little table. You can make it flat, or you can lift it up a little bit, or you can lift it up all this way. Well, I had it at laptop position. I took this book in there last night, and it's super heavy, you guys. It's heavy on your lap, it's heavy on, see, I can barely hold it with one hand. And so I wanted to read this there. But when I first put it on this thing, it was like this. And so I was in my bed, and I'm like, this is hard to look at. So I lifted this thing clear up in the air like this. And I put this book on it. Look at that. Look at that. Is that awesome? I bet I looked at that for an hour last night with this on my lap. So, another tip for you. I don't know, I think this thing cost me $20-something, not very expensive. However, my pink one is wider. They both work fine. I don't know one's wider and why one's not wider, but anyhow. And I don't know what they're called. I want to tell you one other thing. My pants. This pants pattern, even though it's a rubber band waist, has a separate band that they have you sew on at the top that makes a casing that you put your elastic in. I decided I didn't want to do that. I didn't want the extra seam lines up there around my already too big belly. So I just extended this up. And that way I can just fold it over the elastic, sew it to the pant down there, and put the elastic through it, right? Well, I've never made this pant before. So I put more. I knew I was putting more than I needed, but it worked out perfectly. And I finally got the crotch seam sewn on the proper side of the pant. I went in the bedroom, took a mirror, and I pulled the pants up, high as they would go. I had my elastic around my waist. Let me get my elastic, I'll show you. If you're gonna put 1-inch elastic in your pant, put a 1-inch elastic around your waist, okay? So I had it around my waist. I had the pant pulled up underneath it, had my elastic around my waist. And then I drew a line all the way around, excuse me, all the way around underneath the elastic. But I have always had the worst time trying to do that step with these chalk things. I have all kinds of chalk pencils. I have this in 4 colors. I don't know why there's only 3 here. It probably rolled off the table. The other one's gray. But these have these little serrated wheels, and they don't roll good on fat. I just had a hard time. I couldn't get them to mark right. And then the marks that I could get on there would just pop off or brush off. So this time I decided I was going to use these washable markers. Oh my gosh, they work so good. The bad part about using washable markers is you got to wash the marks off. So I had to wash the pants and then iron them. But oh my goodness, they came out totally no problem. I used dark ones. So I'm going to insert right here a picture. Right here, look at the picture real quick. Okay, that was 4 pictures. I wanted you to see the right side, the left side, center front, and center back. So, when I had the elastic on, I was in the mirror, and so I took the markers and I drew all around underneath the elastic. Because then I knew I was going to measure up 1 inch, measure up another inch, and then measure up like 5/8 inch. And then I would cut off above that line. So you saw 2 lines on those pictures. So the bottom line was what I drew when I had it on my body, and I drew under the elastic. These worked fantastic. I even could get the back. I never could get the back with those wheelie dealies. But I was able to get the back, the sides, and everything really good. You notice in the pictures that my waist is a roller coaster. Yours probably is too. I have a high hip, a low hip, a belly, and a sway back. So that line's just everywhere. But once you get it drawn and you cut the excess that you don't need off the top, then you can take that excess that you cut off and put it on your paper pattern and cut this to match that. And then you can just sew your pants up. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it like this because different fabrics might pull up differently. I don't know. Anyhow, you can do that if you want to. So anyhow, that's how I made the pink pants. I'll get the green ones cut out and get them made this afternoon. And then I'll figure out what blouses that I want. Let me see. I always forget to tell you guys something. I tell you about the seam ripper. I told you about the seam ripper. Told you the pattern. Told you my book. I think I have told you everything I know today on Sunday. Anyhow, until I have something else to show you guys, I'll let you go. And you guys have a super week ahead. Hey, I'm going to see 2 of my friends this week, Philly and Terry. I'm going to see them both. So, I don't know, I always forget to take my camera and forget to take pictures. Oh, here's the gray one. But anyhow, that's going to be on Wednesday. So maybe we're going to go to Joann's. I cannot imagine that I could find a piece of fabric to buy. But you never know. Joann's prices are so ridiculous anymore. But anyhow, until then, you guys have a really nice week. Okay? Bye for now.